Greetings and welcome back to another episode of the Vodkast. I'm your host, as always, Geycen Oliveira. Today, I'm going to share something with you that I didn't think I wanted to share publicly. However, at this moment in time, it doesn't really matter anymore because fuck you, Steven Spielberg. No, I don't mean that. I love Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest directors of my time, at least. And I'm glad to see that he's coming back to produce Gremlins 3. However, unfortunately for him, his script isn't going to be as good as my script. I didn't really write a script. It's mostly in my head. There's a little bit on paper. But I had originally started working on a prequel to Gremlins, which would be the story of Murray during World War II. His plane and a Korean soldier's plane or Japanese plane was going to get shot down together onto an island that was filled with mythical creatures that weren't accessible to the rest of the world due to the fact of the water. Water seems to have an effect on these creatures, and they're aware of it. And they know their evil nature that resides within them. So they go to help the human who is Murray, recover from his injuries and slowly that would have been the beginning of the prequel. The other soldier on the island would have been there as well. They would have had to work together to get off the island. Unfortunately, there would be a tribe of gremlins as well, though, that were looking to get off of the island. It would have been, the Mogwais that perhaps intentionally or unintentionally ate after midnight. So there is a clan of them on this island, and they definitely want to get to the mainland. And that would have been the story. Would have been the Japanese soldiers sacrifice themselves so that the gremlins couldn't make it to the mainland, while Murray escaped on a boat with a hidden Mogwai. And who would that Mogwai turn out to be? That's right, it's Gizmo. So I just thought that was a great little tale that came up in my head, and I really reached out to all my friends in the movie business, which is not a lot, and they're not, they're not Steven Spielberg. So, but I was thinking if there's any way I could get him that information, I thought that'd be a cool story to tell. I also thought that the sequel, If I'm crazy, if this isn't a good idea and I'm just being a weirdo, let me know in the comments below. But this would have been my idea. I don't know. This could be his idea too, but now it sucks because I should have recorded this before they announced that Gremlins 3 was happening. Gremlins 3 would take place probably in modern times. Billy would be much older. Gizmo would still be alive, but be very gray. At this point, he's talking very fluently, and perhaps the other way around. Doesn't matter. Anywho, he's out there. They're trying to survive. Why? Because our planet is 70% water. So if you really consider the odds of a gremlin apocalypse, it's quite possible. Like if they had gotten to the ocean, and it just would have spread and spread. There would have been millions of them, and they would have taken over the planet. And so that would be where our story begins. It is like 40 years later. People are trying to survive in these small pockets of humans, but they have to kind of move with the sun. It's the only way to really stay safe. So they find these little regions that they can defend, and hopefully the gremlins don't find out about. But that would have been like, I don't have an end. I didn't say it was perfect. I just thought a gremlin apocalypse is something that hasn't been done. You've done zombie apocalypses, alien apocalypses, AI apocalypses. There's all kinds of insane apocalyptic stories out there, but there isn't a gremlin one, and it's so feasible with the amount of water on our planet. Is if it ever made it to the coast, you're just screwed. The world is screwed at that point. Maybe there are some islands out there that are reversed now, that are survivors from the time, and now they can't, for whatever reason, they're unknown or it's not worth getting to them. I don't know. Maybe the story ends on the island where the prequel would have started. That's my idea. I just wanted to share it with you guys because I love Gremlins. I think Gremlins is one of my favorite movies, especially 80s movies. I think about like E.T., I think about Gremlins, Back to the Future. Those are the ones that come to my head like right away. And I'm sure I'm missing, quite a few that are amazing. Obviously, the Star Wars and stuff like that. But I'm going to let you go today. But the next time you see me, we're going to talk about the Washburn A20V, which is the guitar that I bought. Probably I've had it for it's got to be almost 40. No, it's 30 years. 30 years at this point. And I thought it'd be fun to leave you guys tales of guitars and the stories that come with the guitars. So that'll be the next episode. So if you're interested in seeing something like that, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. And hell, if you're digging the content I'm creating as much as I love creating the content that you guys are watching, you should definitely hit that subscribe button. It'd be a huge favor for me. I'm trying to get to 800 by the end of the year. It would be a landmark that I feel like I've moved forward enough to warrant what I do here on the Vodkast. I love you guys. Take care of each other. Be nice to each other, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode later on down the road, my friends. Or something like that. I couldn't remember the tagline going out, but I think that was pretty good. We'll go with that.
Don't go to sleep with a catch it in your pocket.
Why did I do that? Like, we could have just cut it right there. But here I am. I keep going and going. I'm going to stop now. I'll see you guys later.